Good evening, folks. We're back once again on the Goel Ganga Pure Delight Facebook page. And this evening is very literally pure delight because I have the absolute privilege, pleasure, honor, all of it, of having Simran Ahuja with us this evening. Simran, great to see you. You know, a couple of weeks ago, I was in this conversation with somebody else from the modeling profession, and it just struck me that you guys know exactly how the camera is going to work for you, and the rest of us look like blurbs. Look at me. I was, just before we went live, मैं सिमरन से कह रही थी that मेरा एक device suddenly didn't work, and I had to find another device, and this other device is making me look blue. And well, life is like that. And look at Simran. I mean, just look at her. Spend all of your evening looking at her. Ignore that I exist, because because that's a smart thing to do for the evening. So Simran, I know, of course, I know that I'm talking to a former Miss India, but for all the people who are listening, आपकी short introduction आप ही दे दीजिएगा आज.
Sure. At first, thank you, Lena. And I must say, it's all about the content, Lena. So it's not about only aesthetics. So beyond aesthetics, it's the content which will keep them intact. So thank you for having me on your brilliant show. At first, my humble thanks to the Goel Ganga group and my dear friend Roshni Kapoor, and we've been connected, you know, since a couple of years now. And, Roshni is doing so well. So thank you, Roshni. Aap sab jab Roshni fehrati hain. And of course, the Goel Ganga group in Pune. Absolutely a pleasure being with all of you. Thank you, Lena. It's been a beautiful journey altogether, right after, I won the title of Miss India Magnificent Woman Icon in 2013. And to represent India then on an international arena was absolutely, absolutely the most magnificent thing that has truly happened to me. We'll start from here. And thank you, Lena. It's going to be a great time only with you. मैं अकेले होती तो मजा नहीं आता अब कंटेंट है क्योंकि आप हमारे साथ हैं so let's go ahead.
Fantastic. So Simran, for all of you who are watching, and I'm sure there are a lot of people watching us right now, Simran is this multi-talented, multi-faceted personality. Uh, you talked to her about the IFA. She has a presence there. The Oscars. So her debut film has just released. She tells me just before we went live, and I want to hear about your debut film, Simran. बताइए हमें.
Sure, that's so kind. My debut film is Zindagi Tumse, and I'm playing a very nice role of Sadhna Singh ji is the protagonist in the film, जो मेरी to be mother-in-law है, and she has two sons, so I'm the younger son girlfriend in the film, and it's a very prominent role. I really enjoy playing that character because that really beautiful film itself has a message, and the message is the need of the hour. It's for the times of today. So I think it's been really brilliant, to have, absolutely our legends, right from Sadhna Singh ji to Rajesh Puri ji, and of course I'm debuting. My co-star is also debuting. So it's been a brilliant experience being a part of Zindagi Tumse, and very soon I'll have my second film on release. So we look forward to that. Yeah.
Fantastic. You have all our best wishes, Simran. Uh, मुझे बताइए कि ये जो the reason I'm asking you this question is क्योंकि आपका जो आपकी इंडस्ट्री जो है वो इंडस्ट्री essentially आउटडोर इंडस्ट्री है. आपको घर के बाहर ही काम करना पड़ता है. And so many shoots getting cancelled, so much happening. पिछले 4-5 महीनों से सब कुछ उथल-पुथल हो गया है. तो हाउ हैज़ योर एक्सपीरियंस बीन, और आपकी सलाह क्या, एक तो आपका एक्सपीरियंस कैसा रहा है, और इस सब के साथ कोप करने के लिए आपकी सलाह क्या रही है?
Lina, for me, honestly, I always look forward to, positivity and optimistic feeling altogether in
Yeah.
every situation. So to be very honest, there were only 2 days when I was stressed. When the third lockdown ke baad pata chala, we're still going ahead with the lockdown. And, so that was the only time when I felt and I realized it. And I spoke to myself. I said, I'm a person who's always been positive, given positivity to everyone. तो तब मैंने वो मुझे जो 2 दिन मिले, you know, to definitely know myself and go within. तो मैं सभी से ये कहती थी हमेशा, if you can't travel outside, it's absolutely fine. You can travel within. I've been traveling, out of 365 days, 300 days plus I travel, I do almost 500 shows in a year. So, sometimes 2 cities, sometimes 2 countries in a day. But the fact that ab mauka mila hum sabko, to be at home. So I always believe that if not travel outside, travel within. And home is the best place to be in. So यहाँ से मैं जरूर कहना चाहूंगी about the beautiful Goel Ganga. Thank you for giving beautiful homes to everyone because that's extremely essential. In 5 महीनों में तो हम सबको पता चल गया है, how the sense of staying at home for so long is, because none of us have stayed at home in the entire world for such a long period. It's been really phenomenal for me because जो काम मैं हमेशा करना चाहती थी, like I always used to get offers for television host, but it used to always be that my weekends are booked. So I used to always tell them that, I can't really take a break for 3 months because I've already taken up work, 7 months, 9 months in advance. So this is the time when I became a television talk show host to start with. So I've been doing the show on TV Asia, which is in Canada, Mexico, and Canada, Mexico, and USA, of course. That's Celebrities in Unison, where I do interviews with celebrities, right from Sonu Sood to, our legends, Talat Aziz ji, to Anuradha Paudwal ji, Usha Uttup ji. तो इनके साथ मैं जो टॉक शोज होते हैं वैसे करती हूँ, where we have towards the end the rapid fire round, which is quite inspiring for everyone who's sitting out there in states, जो अमेरिका में है, कनाडा में है, मेक्सिको में है, for them to really be inspired regards everything got to do with Bollywood and the film fraternity. So I've been really active and I've finished shooting for 64 episodes. The show's on air since 4.5 months and thrice a week, television par aata hai TV Asia par. So it's been really brilliant. And the recent, when I was a Grand Marshal for the 74th Independence Day at California, was absolutely remarkable, a great honor for me, in fact. तो ये सब घर बैठे बैठे हम सब कर रहे हैं. तो जो परसेप्शन था पहले कि घर के बाहर ही जाना पड़ता है हर रोज बैग लेकर, wear your stilettos and wear your amazing shoes. अब इसकी जरूरत नहीं. I've been barefoot since the past 5 months, and it's been such a beautiful feeling altogether of being able to work for different countries. So on an average, I do about 5 shows in a day. So now I'm doing a show for Healing Our Earth, which is a UK platform. I'm shooting for Television Asia, which is USA platform. I'm shooting for an African channel, where I'm doing something got to do with yoga or a motivational speaker for college students. So it's been phenomenal. All we need to do is just at the click of a button, you go towards the other studio, or it would be on Zoom or webinar, and you are all there to shine. So I think this was a brilliant feeling I had of being the Grand Marshal for San Francisco, and you know absolutely a brilliant feeling when you're felicitated there by the California legislature. So for me, it's been really completely unique feeling altogether, and इतना ज़्यादा positive that मैंने already 550 shows lockdown के time घर पर बैठे बैठे. So I'm really not missing out. In fact, I'm just doing it because मुझे spending की ज़रूरत नहीं है. I was the solo singer for the reality show, singing reality show on air here. So every single thing, I really haven't missed out on anything. In fact, right from doing awards to webinars, for corporates, the India Business Group Chamber of Commerce, to doing work for every endeavor. It's just done the installation for Lions Club, and we're doing another function on the 12th, the Rotary event with Sonu Sood, where I'm again interviewing Sonu Sood. So it's really brilliant. मुझे बिल्कुल नहीं लगता मुझे break. In fact, मेरा पूरा घर स्टूडियो बन गया है. हर एक corner, स्टूडियो बन गया है जिसमें गार्डन से लाइव जाती हूँ for my yoga. I go live sometimes from my terrace, live for my yoga sessions. So it's been a brilliant feeling for me all together. मुझे कभी वक्त नहीं मिलता था. I'm the brand ambassador for Retro Gym, for Country Club. So Country Club at your doorstep, we had 140 shows every single day, शाम को 5:45. और इसी वजह से मैं पहले आपको शो नहीं कर पा रही थी because we wanted, once everything opens up, then, when that show is over, I'll have time for other shows at this point of time to 5 to 6 people. So for me, it's been brilliant, super awesome. And in fact, मुझे तो बहुत टाइम याद है, I just sleep here in the studio itself. I just lie down, for 2-3 hours, and I'm like, okay, the viral singer guys are calling me. आपको shoot भेजना है? Yeah, all right, shoot भेजो. It's been really a different, unique experience. At the same time, जो 2 दिन है मैं उसके बारे में बात करना चाहूँगी. I always believe in, giving positivity and really making everyone feel beautiful from within and feeling alive. So I must mention this, that वो जो 2 दिन I was stressed, I was like, oh my God, lockdown ho gaya hai, the fourth lockdown, that means no work, I mean, not been earning money, तो shopping भी नहीं कर रही हूँ इतने टाइम से. And I said, उनमें से मुझे किसी बात की भी जरूरत नहीं है. मेरी जो खुशी है, वो मुझे घर बैठे मिल रही है. जो मेरा काम मिल रहा है. So I started, I was doing a lot of, work for, college students, for teachers, college teachers on awareness, and on mindfulness. But these are the 2 days when I realized, and I said to myself, this too shall pass. We have no way out. So it's better to be positive and make the most out of this time. So I can really very proudly, and it's God's grace again, say that I really made the most out of myself. I did a lot of philanthropic work as much as possible, sitting at home, speaking to the masses. For a change, we've done 108 Surya Namaskars. So 21st June, जो International Yoga Day होता है,
Yoga
every
day.
year,
Yeah.
so I travel every year. Last year I was in, I was on cruise in Barcelona, and I was with the Royal Caribbean, और मैंने वहाँ पे sky deck पे yoga लिया था with 40 countries, people from 40 countries. Is bar, we had again all the countries came together and we had 2 million views. So I started 21st Sunday, every day yoga shampoo hota tha, that was 20 minutes to 30 minutes. But jo 108 Surya Namaskar 6 a.m. morning Sundays मैंने जो शुरू किया वो लगातार चलते गए every Sunday for consecutive 7 Sundays, and we used to have 2 million people doing 108 Surya Namaskars together. So I have taken workshops there, besides being, the individual workshops on Zoom, but this was live on Facebook. So I must say, people in Japan, the Japanese, they said we never joined Facebook. We just joined Facebook because we wanted to do yoga. So they joined Facebook just for yoga. So I think, such beautiful experiences and feelings we are getting from South America, Australia, Paraguay, amazing, amazing feeling altogether. So I've really, I wouldn't say I've done in abundance, but I've been graced and I've been blessed to be able to do everything in abundance.
Simran, that's beautiful. I mean, just hearing this is a breath of fresh air. For the large audience that's listening to us already, I want to recap a couple of what Simran said. She made some very, very important points. She said, when you can't travel outside, travel inside. I mean, look at this young woman. She's sitting there and she's sharing these extremely profound thoughts with all of us. She says, she says कि योगा किया 2 दिन मैंने सोचा कि ठीक है शॉपिंग नहीं कर सकती तो क्या हुआ लेकिन जो मेरे लिए जरूरी है वो सब मेरे घर में है सिमरन सेट कि मैंने अपने घर में एक स्टूडियो बना दिया है इन अ डे आई एम रिकॉर्डिंग 5 shows I sleep in the studio sometimes I'm shooting from the terrace sometimes I'm shooting from my garden and my work has not stopped so I think this whole thing about how uh, uh, and the reason that this context is important is because every single news headline that we read or we see, we're exposed to, is about how much trouble there is in the world of glamour, in the world of Bollywood, and it's disturbing because we look up to that world to keep our dreams alive. And here you have Simran who says your dreams are well and alive and they're alive and kicking. You don't have to worry about your dreams. You can stay at home and make all your dreams come true. And I want to focus on that for the next few minutes with Simran. Simran, I wanted to share with all our audience कि ये जो घर में रहना हुआ आपने आपने बिल्कुल सही कहा कि हम में से किसी ने इतने इतने दिन इतने महीने घर के अंदर गुजारे ही नहीं थे. So I was in a conversation with somebody else, some time back, a very senior politician, and she said, Lina, we forgot how to make 3 meals a day. कभी जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ी. घर में 3 बार खाना बनाना ये आदत छूट गई थी हम सबकी. तो नई आदतें हो गई. The families got together, people started cooking together. So, how has that whole staying at home worked out for you? Quite apart from your work, क्योंकि काम तो आप बहुत कर रहे हो, वो तो that's amazing and many congratulations. But apart from the work that you do, और क्या क्या किया घर में?
It's been absolutely a unique experience. एक चीज जो हम सबने realized, this was really wonderful. So just before coming for the show, we had our very renowned director, who's an award-winning national director for Kagas Ki Kashti, Brahmanand Singh Ji, director. He was just here, and we were just discussing. And I told him, Brahma, सब कुछ in abundance है हमारे पास. I mean, still, I travel to country and I still, shop. In fact, most of the time I haven't been like it's all packed. I haven't even
Yeah,
opened
yeah,
everything. It's just kept. You have to make a video for one of my clients. So we don't even realize because there's no time. It's always been rushed. So Brahma said, the same thing I experienced. I had so much, and I was like, oh God, where will I take this and go? So in case I wouldn't have seen all this for the next 10 years, it would have just been here. We really don't know. So I said, that's so true. So I think we all have realized, and we all have had that beautiful realization that, you need to be contented, and we already have everything at home. So for me, it's been absolutely brilliant. And जो हम घर पे रह रहे हैं, जो घर की पहचान नहीं थी पहले कि अच्छा ये मेरे घर पे है, अच्छा ये मेरे घर पे है, अच्छा ये भी है मेरे पास, मुझे तो पता ही नहीं था. So
yeah.
that has happened to everyone, because I've been doing interviews every single day. I'm also the official anchor for Incredible Indians, where I'm doing this interview with Indians from across the world who are super achievers. तो इतना मजा आता है, इतना इंस्पिरेशन मिलता है मुझे सबसे. I've done shows with Arbaaz Khan, Abed Yol. Right now, the one which is going on, my show on TV Asia is with Abed Yol. So we have the first one on Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, 7 p.m. ET. USA time is the show. Last week it was with Kunal Ganjawala.
Hmm.
इतना कुछ सीखने मिलता है. So for me, I've evolved honestly as a person. Again, it's not easy to say that it all happens by God's grace, but I have evolved. So, when we had last session, which was on air with Kunal Gajamala, very renowned relaxed singer, I always had something in my mind. There was this favorite song of mine, Bige Tere, you know. And I always, it's just something very interesting. It's about Bollywood. So I would like to definitely speak out to people. And my first question to him was, yeah, mujhe batao, this has always been my favorite song, but I've always felt embarrassed. In fact, a couple of times, not just once, I've sang the song for karaoke. Bige Hote Hai,
Okay,
from the
okay.
Murder. So I said, but it's very embarrassing for me to tell people it's my favorite song, yeah. Aapko kaise laga, when you got to sing the song? And this is what he narrated in the show. He said, I just received a call from Anu Malik sir. And we've even done a show with Anu Malik sir for celebrities and ministers. And he said, just come over. And it was Diwali time. And I said, like I just finished my work after my fish. He said, just come over. I have something very good, something very iconic. The song forever. Just come over to the studio. And he goes to the studio and, he was there and they just gave him the lyrics. And they said, he was shoot, do it your way. And he's saying, I just read the lyrics and I was like, ये क्या है? Like, अभी मेरे साथ कोई रात था. इससे मैं सोच रहा था कि मेरा करियर शुरू होने से पहले ही खत्म हो जाता है यार, ये क्या होगा. So he said, I just give it a thought. He said, just have your take on this. And you know what did he did? I was so stunned. अब मुझे बिल्कुल किसी को बताने में ये शर्म नहीं आती. Because I told him that no matter which music or which song, but इसकी music is very heart touching. इसके lyrics पे इसके लिरिक्स कहने से भी कोई ऐसी बात फील नहीं होती है. बट व्हाट इज देयर इन दिस सॉन्ग, इसमें जो सोल है सॉन्ग में, वो कहाँ से आता है. सो सेड दैट जब मुझे गाना था तो मैंने सोचा अब ये कैसे फील करूं, हाउ शुड आई. सो ही सेड, आई जस्ट इमेजिन दैट आई एम, एज सूफी सिंगिंग में हम करते हैं, दैट मैं अपने खुदा के साथ पूरी रात गुजार रहा हूँ. सो हाउ वुड इट बी, जैसे हम अपने महबूब के साथ, लवर के साथ गुजारते हैं, मैं अपने खुदा के साथ अगर ये रात गुजार किस तरह होगी. My entire perception changed. I said, wow, this is unbelievable. मैंने इस तरह से तो कभी सोचा ही नहीं. That it is such a spiritual, divine love feeling. You know, so
Absolutely, yeah.
so the entire, so everything we do in life, if you have that feeling, it will, and that is how it has the soul. उस song
Yeah,
में ऐसा soul है that I told him that आज तक जो भी आपके गाने, I still feel that's the best. He's saying even I feel it's the best. So it's that sense. And I have been in the mood of Ras Garba, because I won 18 consecutive Ras Garba titles right from 2018. So this journey has been really phenomenal for me, where I've been the author of the book also, Garba. So I always feel Radha dancing with my Krishna. So I connected so well with him. But I never imagined that Kunal sir ने ये गाना इस तरह गाया होगा. To imagine, that I'm with my God and with my true lover, and how would it be that I'm spending the entire night with him? I mean, what a feeling. So everything
absolutely.
has been really enriching every second. And girl, I've realized the essence of home sweet home. हम सबको, इनफैक्ट जब मैं टॉक्स लेती थी तो मैं सबसे कहती थी कि हम क्यों कमाते हैं, why do we want to make something out of ourselves so
Yeah,
that we try with our family, हम खुश रहें, get to go to different destinations. At least, if not, in 6 months, at least annually, we want a good trip. Or else, we really want to spend time with family and give them the happiness. We
Absolutely.
want to do something for their parents, buy them gifts. So I said, this is the time. Minus the finance, everything is there. We have happiness. We can give love to our family. We can make everyone laugh. We can spend time with our parents. We can really give them everything. The only thing is the finance, which we are not really earning well. And I think that shouldn't be important at this point of time.
So
Minus the
Simran,
finance, you just
yeah.
imagine of happiness. तो सब तो हमारे पास है. So why don't we enjoy that? Why are we still having fights at home? Why are we feeling upset at home? Thinking about there's no one who's making us upset. कि काम पे तो हम जा नहीं रहे हैं, travel कर नहीं रहे हैं. So there's no one who's stopping us. Why we travel? No honking. There's nothing. There is peace all around. So feel that peace from within, and then it comes. Make that atmosphere very beautiful. Have that beautiful aura. Really giving up your anger, giving up your greed as much as possible, because it is possible. So this is something that I've realized by being at home, and since the Goel Ganga group is all about the Ghar ki feeling, I thought, yeah, this is very apt.
Amazing. So again, Simran has led me on to the next leg of the conversation that I want to have with her, because she spoke of ghar ki feeling, and even before we move on to the ghar ki feeling, let's once again pay a little attention to what she said. She said other than earning as we used to earn before, everything else has remained the same. So Simran, we have this conversation all the time with people, and what we realized is that across the board, across strata of society, there are some extremely unfortunate people who lost absolutely everything. There is no denying that. But there has been a vast populace where certain things people spent no money and no time on in the past few months. And someone said it very beautifully. A friend of mine said, "लीना, क्या है ना, पिछले 4-5 महीनों में जिन चीजों पे खर्चा नहीं हुआ ना, वो लाइफस्टाइल है, और जिन चीजों पे खर्चा हुआ ना, वो लाइफ है." So I found that extremely insightful, and I said, how important is that? Everything that we are experiencing right now is critical, central to our sense of being alive, and right at the very foundational level of that feeling is a place called home. क्योंकि ये सारे जो experiences हम सबको हमारे अपने अपने घरों में रह के आ रहे हैं. So Simran, you lead this very enriching, very abundant in experiences lifestyle. But at the same time, there are many people right now who are struggling. They're struggling with feelings of inadequacy. They're struggling with feelings of anxiety. How would you address those feelings? And what is your statement really for especially young people? Because mental health is something we should all talk about. Unfortunately, we don't talk about it often enough. But this is a great platform. And Simran, clearly, you're somebody who's worked on all these issues, who makes a profession almost of healing and wholesome conversations. So, Simran, what is your message to young people today, जो आज हमारे इस conversation को सुन रहे हैं और निराशा महसूस करते हैं, दुख महसूस करते हैं, hopelessness, उसके बारे में आप क्या कहेंगे?
सबसे पहले तो मैं ज़रूर कहना चाहूँगी कि happiness comes from within. सबसे पहले. So first and foremost, it is important. I do understand that it's really a critical situation, even being at home, and when you are the sole earner and you really need it, especially your daily wages पर भी होते हैं. But trust me, it's a matter of some time. Now things are better since the past few weeks. Things are better since the past 3 weeks, and they will get better. तो ये अब हमेशा के लिए नहीं रहने वाला है. And मैं सबको यही कहना चाहूंगी that this too shall pass. We always say ke sara sara. It's not going to stay with us forever. And if we go to think, if we just see the history, so हमेशा काफी सारे different calamities और different sort of challenges आए हैं. तो मैं यही कहना चाहूंगी कि उन challenges को अगर हम सोचेंगे तो ये challenge has been comparatively really very relaxing. We are just thinking that way because we haven't seen that in the past 25 years. जब से हम पैदा हुए हमने कभी ऐसे देखा नहीं. Oh my God, we never experienced this. What is all this? What is this happening? But if we read history, so we'll realize it's always been this way. So we are in this world to experience every emotion.
We are not in this world to experience only smooth flow. And challenges are coming. We have to face it. And we have to be like a soldier and just face it. Face it with a cool mind, with a calm mind. And yes, there are a lot of organizations who will be of help to you. And I always tell from the business front, this is the time when you have to really make, your contacts, enhance them and work for people, show them your skills. Creativity and innovation has been the need of the hour during the lockdown period. So I would definitely, I mean, though it's already almost past and now things are almost ready to be, normalized, it will take time, definitely. But just be very creative and play around and think it over. How can you really get work? So if you earn a package of 200,000, and if you're getting 50,000 now, just be happy with it, be satisfied with it, because we have no choice. So even if you are stressed, you still have to work. Even if you are happy, you still have to work. So it's always better to be contented and live with that little happiness, because you never know when you might get that bumper. And be very honest with yourself. Speak out to your friend. There are organizations who will help you get out of that mental stress. Please do speak out. There are people there, there are organizations who are giving a lot of help, and they are here to listen. So, in fact, we just had this beautiful event with His Holiness, Sri Ravi Shankarji, and I was very thankful to the Hindu Jazz for giving me this opportunity. And, my dear friend Kiran, who really put me on with the respected Hinduja family. So, where we had this beautiful, His Holiness addressing everyone. So, when you listen to spiritual values and you realize, because we've always heard spiritual discourses, but never got time to practice. So, I would just suggest that this is the time to practice. And, rather than analyzing and thinking and giving it a deep thought, for a change, the whole world is going through this. So I think it's really very satisfying, to be very honest, Lena, because we're thinking it's not just, a particular city or a country is experiencing something. But for a change, the entire world, so we're all sailing in the same boat. Yeah, the level is different for sure. But to bring happiness from within yourself, and how to change that happiness by being kind, by really being compassionate to everyone in the family. So, chota sa example is just by giving love. You never know, you might bring a smile on someone's face. Listen to them, listen to everyone who's going through this phase. And it will really be a miracle, because this is not here to stay. Just as we say that good times we pass ho jate hain, ye times we pass ho jayenge. Just be very positive and optimistic, because this is not going to be over for sure. It's a matter of some time. And in this point of time, take it up as a challenge and see, check for yourself how positive can you be, and till how far can you really cope by really not getting angry or anxious, or really be in a relaxed feeling with that aware mind, so that and excel at every any problems. So you excel, you will be the best version of yourself when work starts, and you will be much better than the others. So this is the time, work on yourself and be really your best version. If you have any hobby, there are a lot of hobbies which they're doing, everyone is doing free online. Please join them. We yoga country club at your doorstep. Retro gym is doing yoga, is doing fitness sessions absolutely for free. So please pick up whatever your hobby is. Make sure you're healthy physically, mentally, spiritually, and you will really not think much about it, because what doesn't really help you at all. Keep this, fear and worry will not really take any visuals. And in the morning, please don't watch news. So if you watch news, you will definitely feel depressed. So first thing, get a little bit, enjoy yourself, and later on, post your breakfast, you can watch the news and get the latest updates. It really affects the first thing in the morning, affects you. And that's the reason they say it's best to meditate or just chant. Just say the Gayatri mantra. You get that happy feeling from it. And happiness is okay with it. There is no one else who can do that besides yourself. So let's not expect for a time, and let's believe in giving. We all learn the art of living. This is the time when we learn the art of love, kindness, compassion. It doesn't require money.
Phenomenal. I mean, Simran, you're a quarter minute, and it's been an absolute fabulous conversation so far. I'm sure that I have a few more questions for you. But again, let me quickly recap what you said. And again, guys, all of you who are listening, Simran Ahuja makes some very, very important points. She said, soldier ki tarah bano. क्योंकि challenges तो है, you're going to have to face them. You might as well face them bravely. She also says that sometimes we need to look back at history. Simran, I think you make a very important point over there. Uh, After the Second World War, human race experienced possibly 60, 70 years of its most peaceful existence on the planet. So, after the entire devastation, global devastation that was wreaked upon us by the Second World War, all of us sort of got used to expecting that life is going to be fine. But we have millennia to show to us that life is never like that. Life is never always fine. Life always throws up challenges. Life always throws up these situations uh, that push us to be creative and innovative. So, guys, all of you who are listening, when Simran says learn to be creative, learn to be innovative, learn to be the best version of yourself, so that when the world finally opens up, the world is waiting for you and you are ready for it. So I think that's again a very, very important point. Simran, thank you for making these points. Um, Quickly before we move on to other things, uh, do you at all speak to younger people, people who are potentially going to be buying their first homes, for example, in the course of do you find the time to interact with people in that age group?
Oh, yes. In fact, I've been judging a lot of competitions, even online now at this point of time. And yes, moreover, it's always been about inspirational talks and motivational speeches to them. And how can they really spend their time at this point of time? Yes, I
Fantastic. So what would your advice to them be? The reason again, let me set a context to this conversation. So global trend हुआ यूं था कि young people, they decided that they want to experience life, and they said घर वर देखी जाएगी. We'll buy a home when we want to. Rent पे रह लेंगे. We don't need to invest in property. We'll rent homes. So we'll spend our money on seeing the world. We'll spend our money on, I don't know, mobiles and cars and things like that. The pandemic changed all of that, Yasin. Changed all of that. And suddenly everybody's priorities have become different. So what would your advice be? This very young, um, I don't want to call them millennials, Gen Z. I don't want to label them, but this very young, vibrant, enthusiastic person who has been thrown into this extremely challenging situation. What is your advice to these young people?
Uh, it's absolutely one's choice. So, if we take the trend, which is in USA, they they very happily live their lives, throughout, being on rented houses, and they're super happy because they believe that's the way it is because, medical is being taken care, by the government there, and everything is very, very relaxing. So, so it just depends on where you are living as such, because medical is something, if it's taken care and if you're getting a certain amount, post your retirement, so everything has been taken care of. So I think you can really enjoy your life just the way you want it to be. But if it's our country, it's very essential. Our upbringing has always been our parents always want apna ghar, and now that we are more into linear families than joint families, I mean, it's since quite some time, of course,
Yeah,
but we've always been brought up, apna ghar, apna zaruri hai hona, rent pay, I mean, till the time it's fine, but otherwise we always try and work
yeah,
hard so that we need to have apna ghar. So I think it's just absolutely individualistic, and you know, considering that if one belongs to the IT industry, you might want to travel from country to country, for your work, or from that perspective, in the other arenas of work. So you might believe that it's really fun to really not buy a house and be at one place, rather just shift and enjoy the luxuries of every single country and live in a lavish house rather than, pick up a house, in town, then suburbs, or else you would probably pick up something in suburbs and then also travel the world. So I think it's absolutely individual and it's a one's choice. It doesn't matter because I feel, you don't really stay, at home. You stay in your mind. So I feel the actual home, the true home is your mind. So you don't stay in a home. You might have a big villa, a huge villa, or you might just have a very, very small house, a basic necessity house, or you might have a huge villa. But how happy you are, how successful you are, and it depends on how we define success. It all depends on how you're living in your own home, and your own first home is the mind. So for me, Personally, I would just say personally, but I wouldn't impose it on anyone. It's important to have a house because I feel that lovely feeling of ye mera. So for me, it's that way, but I don't think I have the rights to, even guide anyone, and let everyone have their own select and their choice because everyone has a different vision of living their life and different perspectives. This is
Sure.
for me important to have my.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you, Simran, that this whole the point that you make about your home being your mind, and I think that's where the whole game is happening right now because it's mindscapes that are the issue, right? There's stuff happening in our minds that we need to take care of, and inside this mindscape, now that you're talking about mind being the home, uh, let's explore for a minute, Simran, ki what's happening in the average person's mind. The average person's mind has anxiety right now. Ki, first of all, the health of the family has become one big giant anxiety. The second anxiety is if you're living in a rented accommodation, then you don't know whether you're going to be allowed to stay there. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know whether you're safe, you're secure. So all these things are happening at the same time in the mindscapes of large numbers of people. And I do believe that the singular bring the world down to singularities. But sometimes a singularity works, and right now I think that it's this feeling called home and a place called home because there is no vaccine, there is no medicine, there is no cure, there is nothing standing between you and this debilitating virus other than your home. And I feel that's where this battle is being fought and won by people staying at home, people understanding the importance of home. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yeah, what you said is absolutely correct. But again, as I say, I'll be very honest with you. I just learned and I felt and I realized this, of course, at the time of pandemic, that yaar, ghar par to hai, but the actual home is in the mind because it's always in the mind that how active you are, how alert you are. So I learned this beautiful feeling by the business guru Vikash Mitra Sen because I do their webinars. That's India Business to Commerce. And when I heard this, I said, this actually makes a lot of sense. And what you said is very important. We have a mixed anxiety, fear,
Yeah.
everything. Every single step we thinking, oh my God, I'm meeting someone. You know, my friend is home. I'm going out, stepping out. There is help coming in. Home. And you
Yep.
always
Yep.
have. But I would suggest that, you're going to gain nothing by being anxious, or at the same time being fearful. Do as much as you can. Wash your hands, sanitize yourself, do as much as you can. Stay away from everyone and don't be in close contact. If you have the opportunity, if it's possible for you, be at home. Don't step out. But if it's a compulsion, no way out. So make sure you're really taking all the precautions and then leave the rest, to the divine love that you believe in. Because we have no control over everything. I mean, it's happening, and because we all experienced it, that sometimes when you even at home, you know it just happens to you, and you realize that, oh my god, you are unwell. So just do your best and health as you suggested. I think that is important. We can all take care of our health
Yep.
and make sure we really improve our immunity system at this point of time, right from what we eat and how we eat and when we eat. Just give a lot of attention to yourself. That's what I said, mentally, physically, be the best version of yourself so that when everything starts, you will really be there and you will really sink into that. So please don't be fearful. We're, we all are going through the same thing. So if everyone is going through the same thing, you will only be a winner if you're not experiencing this. So tell yourself that it's fine. I'm fearful. It's very natural. But let me focus on, this particular thing for this hour that I'm doing. And now I've finished with that. Let me focus on this. Keep yourself very busy doing things. Everything that you always wanted to do, a hobby, just sing a song. Just do everything that your heart says. Just go and enjoy a nice walk if it's possible and safe. Otherwise, just be at home. And for most of us, I always tell everyone, we don't have. It's not essential for you to really stay fit that you have to go for a walk because we're all so obsessed with, oh my God, I need to go to the gym. I need to go for a walk. I understand the gym is your temple. I understand. But at this point of time, you can really gain your health just by lying down and lifting both your legs up and doing cycling. So if you can't walk, just do cycling at home. And you'll gain the 1 hour benefit in 15 minutes, 10 minutes, actually, lesser than that also. And it's really hard and tough. So you have to find out ways for yourself. And nature is giving us this opportunity to really find ways, different ways, explore yourself, realize the potential you have within yourself, and just be your best at this point of time. And really don't take fear and don't have anxiety. But at the same time, if you're stepping out, I do understand you do have that. Just take precautions as much as you can, and you can't do anything about that individuals. Take
Absolutely.
precautions, keep smiling, just be happy, eat good, have good immunity system, do your breathing, do your pranayamas, which will really be very helpful to you once again. And then just be relaxed. And the most important aspect is prayers. In
Absolutely.
1 minute, 30 seconds, just close your eyes and just enjoy that feeling of being relaxed. Even if thought comes, let them come. Prayers work wonders. So if you think that you're really fearful and you have a lot of anxiety within yourself, meditation is the key. And actually, we are all spiritual souls going through this human experience, not
Absolutely.
merely human souls aspiring to have a spiritual experience.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to say a beautiful saying of Saint Mirda, which says, "It is the law of life. We live that we may learn to love. We love that we may learn to live. There is no other lesson required of man." So if love is the essence, and you can get it sitting at home, being with your loved ones, then why bother? Let us experience this life when we've got this opportunity. When everything will be normal, we will not even get time to think about this. But right now,
Absolutely.
let's experience this. At least let's feel the feeling because we are all spiritual souls. So please give some time to prayers and we'll all heal.
Outstanding, Simran. I wish there was a mechanism to include a studio applause in StreamYard, but that little piece from you deserved a studio applause because yeah, you're making some very very important points. In fact, in these conversations, very rarely do we speak about the power of prayer, and thank you for bringing that up because there are all these opportunities that we can create for ourselves, for our loved ones, with the time that has been given to us as a blessing. Uh, However, however, what is your message for all the people who we need to help? Simran, I think this is also a time when we can work together as a collective. I was talking to somebody else just a few minutes ago before I spoke to you, and she made a beautiful statement. Uh, she said, Lena, do you see all those paintings of horses? And they all come together. There's a storm in the sky, and they come together. So she said, my father would always say this that uh, there's a storm gathering. Let's stick together. And I think when she said that, it touched my heart. I said, what a beautiful thing to say. And while we are physically distancing one another, do you not believe that this is a time for us to come together? In fact, you said that you've had a few conversations with Sonu Sood. So, the kind of work that he's doing, for example, how do you recommend that we get together and help people in need and do that from the safety and sanctity of our own homes? Do you have any ideas?
Everything, anything that you're doing. So if you belong to the IT industry, you can be of help to people by showing them how to use the gadgets, telling your family how to be connected with everyone, every single way. So I'm doing my bit, by doing motivational talks, by giving yoga to the world as much as possible, which has been taught to me by the gurus. And the fact that I never got time to do it consistently, it's the first time in my life that I've done 140 consistent days of yoga at the same time. So I take it as a blessing. So any single thing you can do to bring a smile on anyone's face, and you could also be a school kid and still
Yeah.
make others happy by just being happy and showing people that come on, let us do this painting today. And I would always say that yes, people who swing together stay together. It's time for all of us to swing. At these times when there is storm, you will swing, but swing together and laugh it out. And this is a beautiful feeling that I would like to say everyone that just be together at this time of storm because this is going to pass, and just be with your loved ones and just make sure that laughter is an important part of your life because we've forgotten how to laugh and enjoy ourselves. And at this point of time, only at this point of time, for some more time, don't really be very calculative about your dreams and about your finances. So if your target was, X amount, just make sure you'll be happy with 30% of the amount, 20% of the amount as well. Because right now is the time for maintaining relationships, but also giving happiness to the other person and not really, stressing even your bosses, or it's vice versa, even for your employers. You could be very nice to them and tell them that, because we can't afford, we're going to pay you a certain percentage. So I think this is how we all be of help to each other. And because we are all beautiful souls on this beautiful planet Earth and saving the environment, we've all realized how important it is to save the environment. So it's not
Fantastic.
anything under tree, and we all can do that on our own. You don't need to be there in crowds. Just make sure that you save the environment in every single way possible. You could do small, these very small ways which on this, and make the most out of this point of time and everyone. And let us really save the as well.
Fantastic, Simran. We're running out of time. I have only 1 minute left with you, and in that one minute, I'm going to ask you to quickly share with us the top 5 things that you think we should all do to make this time at home the best time of our lives. Top 5 things, Simran.
The very first thing is every endeavor, whichever endeavor you're in, be the best version of yourself. So everything that you wanted to do. Most important, second important for me is health. First is because the happiness is always what you work in. So either you do what you love to do, or else whatever you are doing, fall in love with it. So that is what you said. The second is your health. So right time for you to maintain your health, every aspect in the best way, and to take care of the family's health as well. Please do take care of health. It's going to take you a long way. The third thing I want to say is that it's important for you to follow your passion, your hobby, which you've never done in your life and never been confident. So if you wanted to sing, you wanted to dance, please join these lovely groups, having the community groups, and be a part of it, and just go for the sake of it. It's got nothing to do with winning or losing. Just go for the sake of it, for the community involvement, and just be and try being a part of it. Fourth thing from business perspective is networking. I feel if you're not networking, you're not working. So please be very active on webinars. You never know, you might be that right person. But very, very important is networking. And fifth and foremost, I'm going to say is actually this is the first thing. Please do some prayer. Actually, this is of top priority because I mentioned it earlier. But the most important is prayers work wonders. You could chant. You could just get into pranayama, breathing, just into that divine love. But it will work wonders and it will take you a long way. And end of the day, all we're going to take is that love with us and that divine love which will take with us, which is primacy. So prayers, just form a habit of just sitting sit for 1 minute, 1 hour, or whatever you can. But just form a habit morning, evening, to sit for 5 minutes. I think that will be all.
Fabulous, fabulous, Simran. I could not have expected and wanted a better way to end this little conversation with you. Guys, let's pay very close attention to what Simran Ahuja just said to us. She has said that there's this place called home, there's a feeling called home, and inside this there are 5 important things that you should take. She said you must first pray, you must be the best version of yourself, you must spend time for your health, you must take care of your hobbies, and as far as work is concerned, you must network because if you're not networking, then you're not working. All of this is possible for us to do when we're staying at home. We have this beautiful shelter on our heads, we have a roof over our heads. We're thankful for that, grateful for that. Make the best of this time that has been made available to us by God for whatever reason, uh, and the future is ours. So when the world is open, we will be ready, and the world will be uh, welcoming and warm and a beautiful place one more time because we made it that way. So Simran Ahuja, thank you very much for the time that you've shared with us today. It's been an absolutely delightful experience to chat with you. You're a very, very wise soul floating around on the planet, and the planet is better for it. So thank you very much. Guys, we'll be back soon from on the Goel Ganga Pure Light page for session with somebody else. But for now, let's just sit back and re-look at the time that we spent with Simran Ahuja. Simran, all the very best for your forthcoming films. Uh, may your career blossom. May the yoga do wonders, and hopefully we'll catch up again sometime soon.
For
Thank
sure.
you very
Thank you,
much.
Lina. You've been really lovely. Thank you so much for that. And I want to thank my dear friend Roshni Kapoor as well. And Roshni was rocking. I just met you in Pune 3 months back, where we had the show of Manish Maluk's Shadi by Marriott. So we had a lovely time there. And thank you to the Goel Ganga group, because I've been very fortunate to be at one of your properties in Pune, and it's really amazing. So thank you to Lina for this wondrous time that I had with you. Absolute my
Wonderful,
pleasure.
wonderful. So, guys, from Goel Ganga Pure Delight, it's good evening.
God bless.